Batman issue 38 begins with a recently orphaned child, Matthew, recounting to Bruce Wayne how he came home to find his parents brutally murdered. The child is just like Bruce in some ways. He was born into a wealthy family. He has his own trusted butler. And now, of course, he too is an orphan. The butler refers to the child as Master Bruce, and Matthew explains that this is a joke he had with his father. Matthew respected Bruce Wayne so much, he liked to pretend he was him. After explaining this, he then begs Bruce to tell him if the pain of losing your parents will ever go away. Bruce responds, I wish that I could. I do. But I think it's better to have the truth. To know it's always there, scratched into you. As the child breaks down, Taylor, the butler, assures him that everything will be fine, and again refers to him as Master Bruce. Matthew's parents were covered in cuts when they were killed, 37 stabs on the mother and 73 on the father. So Bruce and Commissioner Gordon suspect Zsasz as the culprit, a sadistic killer who, as he puts it, likes to cut. He also keeps a tally of his kills by cutting scars into his own body. The 2 fresh wounds on his arm serve as evidence that he was indeed behind the death of Matthew's parents. Batman's interrogation is unsuccessful, and the cameras at Arkham confirm he was in his cell at the time of the murder. Jim Gordon helps Batman find the next clue. The recent cuts on Zsasz's arm were made using an anonymous letter, copies of which were sent to dozens of prisoners. In the letter, Batman finds clues pointing to an address, 4114 Dennis O'Neil Avenue, the house Zsasz grew up in. There, Batman finds Zsasz's parents dead, covered in cuts. In the interrogation room again, Batman tells Zsasz, "Whoever did this, they wouldn't have done it if it weren't your parents. If you weren't their son, they'd still be alive. So in that way, you killed them." In response, Zsasz screams, "I cut!" and attempts to attack Batman. He is easily stopped with a single punch. Bruce returns to see Matthew once again. Matthew is frustrated, having believed they caught the killer, only to now find out Zsasz was likely not the one responsible. Bruce promises they will find who did this, and that he will be brought to justice. Bruce and Gordon are at a crime scene, having found another couple brutally murdered. They notice that the arms of both bodies have been positioned as though pointing to the time 11:11 on a clock. The fact that there are 2 people in the same pose, and the fact that 11:11 twice can be read as 2222, leads Bruce and Gordon to suspect Two-Face. He got out of Arkham a few weeks back, so he may have been the killer while framing Zsasz. In the middle of the night, Bruce realizes that they are wrong. 222 can be added up to result in 8, which is 2 to the 3rd. Two-Face would never have allowed a 3 into the equation. Someone is trying to emulate Two-Face, and they are making mistakes. Batman realizes they will make this mistake again and likely murder a 4th couple. Batman looks for addresses including 2s, 22s, etc., until he finds one that seems suspicious. Mr. Taylor, Matthew's butler, lives in apartment 2202. Batman appears at his door, and Taylor makes a run for it, diving out his own window, hoping to die rather than face justice. Of course, with his grappling hook, Batman is able to stop the fall. Taylor confesses. He killed Matthew's parents for their money. Bruce breaks the news to Matthew and assures him, "Please, I know you're scared, but it's okay to be scared. It means you get the chance to be brave." Matthew thanks Bruce and says that he hopes after all this, he can be just like Bruce. The scene ends with Matthew reflecting that if he can be like Mr. Wayne, I think that'd be just great. At dinner that night, it occurred to Bruce that this whole plot, killing Matthew's parents, blaming it on Zsasz, then on Two-Face, was all a little silly. It was all, as Bruce puts it, childish. Batman finds Matthew at the gravestone of his parents. Matthew has crossed out the names of his parents and in their place has written the names of Bruce Wayne's parents, Thomas and Martha. Batman explains that upon a second interrogation of the butler, Mr. Taylor confessed that Matthew loved Bruce Wayne and wanted to be Bruce Wayne. So much so that he ordered his butler to murder his own parents. Earlier, Bruce had told Matthew that after the death of your parents, the pain is permanently scratched into you. Matthew has taken this literally, as when he turns to face Batman, we see the names Thomas and Martha carved into his face. Batman tries to tell Matthew that he is sick, that he needs help, but Matthew doesn't listen. Instead, he shouts about how the pain of his parents' death will inspire him to do good for Gotham. He yells, "I'm Master Bruce, and I will never stop fighting for the light, for Gotham, for Mommy and Daddy." Bruce responds firmly, "Stop it. You're not Bruce Wayne. You're a sick kid with dead parents." The child responds, "Well, yes, but what else is Bruce Wayne?" Bruce returns home after the confrontation. The expression on his face tells us he is shaken. Matthew, with a smile on his face, is restrained and taken to his cell. Thank you for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel for more in the future. If you want to see what happens next to Matthew, check out our video covering issue 61 of Batman.